Hi everyone, welcome to another week. We are almost hitting the halfway point in the class and I want to say that you guys are doing excellent. I've really been enjoying reading the research and the papers that you've done and the progress that you're making in the class. I see some really insightful things in the forums. I also see a few people who are getting a little lazy, but you guys know who you are and we've talked, so step up your game a little bit. I know you'll finish out the semester very strong, but for the most part, there's some very insightful comments made. You guys are participating. You're doing really good. So keep it up for the next half of the class and we are going to come into December very strong and I'm very happy. So make sure you're doing what you need to do. This week we're going to look at chapter 9 in going to the source, and I hope you're noticing that I don't go in order and I skip between going to the source and taking sides, so always make sure you're looking at what's in that week that's due. We also have a week discussion forum, and this week we have 2 leaders, so post often. Don't wait until Sunday night to post. In fact, you shouldn't because that affects your grade. Try to actually post by Friday because that really gets the discussion going. Don't save it all till Sunday because not everyone can always all participate on Sunday, nor do they want to just wait until Sunday to participate. So really work to make sure you're at least posting on 2 different days, and if you can post by Friday or earlier, that would be fantastic. And it also takes a lot of pressure off the group leaders. So if you're a group leader, we thank you, and everybody will be a group leader at one point in 2 points, so make sure that you're helping the group leader out so they in turn can help you out when it's your turn. As usual, do your summary. The summaries are looking good. Most people for the write-on, they know if they've had a strong forum or if they've had a weak forum, and they grade themselves accordingly on the self-reflection rubric. Keep up that good work. And a lot of you guys have been giving me extra notes about where you're struggling or where you felt really good this week. Please continue to do that. It's very helpful to me, whereas I can then help you or make sure I tailor a specific announcement or an assignment to what you are doing. So keep up the good work there. Let's talk about primary source paper number 6. And again, all of these primary source papers are based on the paper, the primary source that you have picked to research for the semester. This week, you are going to write a historical research question. Now, this is the foundation of your paper. A good research question leads to an answer, and your answer is your thesis. So it is very important for you to have a good research question so you can develop a good thesis, and then that drives your paper. So this is an important step, and I want you to spend some time on it. It's not something that can happen in 5 minutes. Generally, it takes tweaking and rewriting and drafting and looking at what you have. So make sure you spend some time on this assignment. There are 3 things you need to remember with your research question. 1, the research question has to be based on your primary source. It has to come, the answer has to come from your primary source. So you need to develop a question that is on your primary source and not just on the topic of your primary source. So let's say you're doing Native American Indian removal and you ask a question about what was the effect of Indian removal on the Native American population. That's a beautiful question, but you're not going to be able to answer it with your specific source if you're looking at a treaty or something like that. You need to have a question that's geared towards your primary source. So that's 1. Number 2 is that it has to be arguable. Somebody could say something different than what you have argued. It has to be debatable. There's no set answer. That makes a really good history question if people can argue and debate it, and then you present your side. So 1, has to be based on the primary source. 2, it has to be arguable and debatable. And 3, it has to be neither too small nor too big. A too small question is only going to get you a paragraph or 2. It's very limited in scope. There's not a lot of discussion about it. It doesn't take a lot of explanation defense to defend it. The other problem is sometimes students ask a question that's too big, and it's going to take 80 pages to do that in a whole semester. So you want to find that happy medium of finding a question that you can answer in 8 to 10 pages. You don't want to have something that's like, what was the overall effect of Native American Indian removal on the Native Americans? Because that's not really an 8-page paper. That's a 20-30 page paper or a book, so that would be too big. But neither do you want to say, what was the treaty that was signed in 1780? How did that affect the Native Americans in Kalamazoo? Because that's way too small of a question, and that's not going to get you the paragraphs that you need. So make sure it's neither too big nor too small. It's arguable, and that it is based on the primary source. And to help you with that, Oh, come on, paper. Go to week 7. Oh, of course. Scroll, 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 scroll. Thank you for not getting dizzy. To help you with that, in our lecture this week, I have given you 2 of my favorite resources on writing good questions. I use Bowden all the time. It is a great resource by Professor Patrick Rial, and he does it. So you open up the site and you scroll down here on the left and you find how to ask good questions. And then here it walks you through the process. It explains in a lot more detail what we just talked about. So you're going to want to definitely check that out. And my other one is William Cronin, who is a great environmental historian. He kind of is a little bit geared towards environmental history, but it's the same premise. He's going to walk you through actually a really cool environmental history research question. So you can read that one also. At least read one of them, if not both, and develop a question. If you want to bounce some questions off me this week, feel free. There's no community builders. I'll add one in next week. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I apologize for canceling office hours today. My son ended up with blue lips and the chills, so we had to run him right to the doctor, and he's okay. Happy to report. I think it was something in the air. They're burning by us. Anyways, I'm babbling. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next week.